Welcome back to Harvard. We'll call it razzle-dazzle, or how about Trivial Pursuit? We've got a scat of tight races out there in the country. Kristen Scott are down tied in the Florida governor's race, 44 all. Roberts and Orman are virtually tied in Kansas in that Senate race. And Baker and Coakley up in Massachusetts are dead tied there. Nearly all these big Senate contests, as Rachel Maddow pointed out last night, are all within the margin of error. And anything can move the needle on this stuff, even the weird stuff. And yes, there's been some weird stuff, especially this week. I'm joined right now by Jonathan, David, and rejoined by all three of them, and Michelle. Let's begin with that odd story in Kentucky this week. This week, Democratic Senate candidate Allison Lundergan Grimes battled Minority Leader Mitch McConnell in their only debate of the campaign, and they were peppered with tough questions, but it was the one that Grimes didn't answer, which has exploded into the headlines.
Why are you reluctant to give an answer on whether or not you voted for President Obama?
Bill, there's no reluctancy. This is a matter of principle. Our Constitution grants here in Kentucky the constitutional right for privacy at the ballot box, for a secret ballot.
And you won't answer that question tonight?
Again, you have that right. Senator McConnell has that right. Every Kentuckian has the right for privacy at the ballot box. And if I, as chief and election official, Bill, don't stand up for that right, who in Kentucky will?
Principle? In an upcoming documentary, Grimes isn't afraid to tell you how she voted in a different 2008 contest. Take a look.
Tell me about the first time you voted. Who did you vote for, and what issues were most important to you?
Well, I turned 18 in 1996. Unfortunately, it was after President Clinton's election. I'd hoped to be able to vote for him. I got a chance, though, to vote for Secretary Clinton in 2008.
There's the big smile, and I voted for Clinton. So the principle, everybody has a principle. My mom never told my dad ever that she voted for Kennedy. That's, of course it's a right, but of course it's a right. There's a principle to that right. It's a secret ballot. But my question is, it's okay to say you voted for Hillary, but you have some principle. I think it may be more political than that. Your thoughts?
You know,
I don't know who she voted for.
Neither do I. I honestly don't have a clue who she voted for. I suspect that there really is a possibility that she might have just voted for Romney, or maybe she didn't vote for president at all. There's that.
Why would she do that? Why wouldn't she vote for Obama?
Well, I don't know. Maybe she just didn't like him. Maybe she was out of loyalty to Hillary Clinton in 2008. Maybe she didn't like the direction of the country. Here's the problem for her, at least from my perspective as a female, and particularly in a year where we have so many women running for office. There is still a double standard. There is still a stereotype, and this was an opportunity for her as a female candidate who's really sticking it to her opposition to speak up and speak her mind and explain how she voted and why she voted. Because in 2012, the difference between who we saw speaking at the Republican National Convention and who we saw speaking at the Democratic National Convention showed two fundamentally different visions of what the future of the country should look like, and Kentuckians would know that based on what she voted for.
Well, look, she's being hammered for not answering the question. I get why she didn't answer the question. Politically, she can't. She's running in a state that absolutely hates the president. And so for her to say I voted for Barack Obama is to try to snuff out her chances against McConnell. In Kentucky, I think it would be.
Democrat vote for Obama?
For a Democrat?
No. Well, she's in a close race against the Senate minority leader who could become majority leader. In a close race, Jonathan, you have
a theory here. It was strategic. She had it ready. She was going to say it was a matter of principle. Did she know that this documentary was coming out next week?
Maybe she forgot about it. And then on the flip side, let's say she did indeed vote for Romney in 2012 or McCain in 2008. That kills her. That kills her with Democrats. So I'm of the thinking that she can't answer the question because
that's a fair statement, assuming rationality, which I do. I like assuming rationality.
If it's
there is a thoughtful reason there behind
it. But the last thing anyone can
doesn't hurt her.
The last thing a politician can do is look shifty.
Yes.
For whatever the reason,
or frightened.
Like you're frightened,
like you're
rolling disclosure.
And that's what's
I'll tell you when I want it.
Listen, for her to come, if let's assume she voted for Barack Obama, or even assume she didn't. She's running as a Democrat. She needs the Democratic base to turn out as small as it might be in Kentucky. She still can't win without them. And for her to, why she didn't say initially, listen, I did not vote for the guy who wanted to lower taxes on the rich and who wanted not to give health care to 500,000 Kentuckians. elections. So I didn't do that, okay? I voted for the guy who I disagreed with on other matters, but who wanted to give the middle-class people a tax cut and give you health care. And if she can't pull that off up against Mitch McConnell, who is sort of the Rocky of politics, in terms of throwing hard hits, then she's really not punching at her weight level.
Well, let's move on. We don't know what this has an impact. I assume it hurt her a little bit, but I don't know yet. We haven't seen the new polls. Anyway, the Florida tan and the Florida fan. He always has a tan. He always has a fan. And I've known about this since I moderated his first debate about 8 years ago.
Yeah.
We've all laughed about it, but we kept it to ourselves because that's his deal, okay?
Yeah.
Anyways, in the strangest debate moment of our time, perhaps, and it could decide the Florida governor's race. This is really important. It's 44 down there to 44. Anyway, there he is. The Democrat Charlie Crist is tied with Governor Rick Scott in the Florida's governor's race. This is a big, real state, by the way. This isn't some backwater. This is a big state with a lot of different kinds of people in it, 44 all. At the start of this week's debate, Crist took the stage, but Scott didn't show for 7 minutes. Here's what happened.
Governor Crist has asked to have a fan, a small fan, placed underneath his podium. The rules of the debate that I was shown by the Scott campaign say that there should be no fan. Somehow there is a fan there, and for that reason, ladies and gentlemen, I am being told that Governor Scott will not join us for this debate. Frank, have you ever seen anything like this?
No, I haven't. This is remarkable over sort of a trivial issue, no matter which side you believe you're on.
That has to be the most unique beginning to any debate.
I don't think we'll forget.
Not only in Florida, but I think anywhere in the country. Why did you insist on bringing a fan here when your campaign knew this would be a contentious issue?
Why not? You know, is there anything wrong with being comfortable? I don't think there is.
Anyway, the moment was energized. I think Crist's side of the campaign. They're fundraising off it. The Florida Democratic Party is out with this ad attacking Scott.
Are we really going to debate about a fan, or are we going to talk about education and the environment and the future of our state? I mean, really.
Well, in its response, the Republican Party of Florida sponsored a post on BuzzFeed called Crist Hits the Fan, which includes 25 pictures of Crist with his fan. I think Charlie's winning this, maybe because I like Charlie personally better than the other. I don't know the issues, but it looked like he was prepared for this. He was very debonair out there when they were having this big fight. And the other guy, we didn't show up, but the other guy, Scott, had no idea what to say. He was totally inarticulate.
Yeah.
No, he didn't
Why
have
did
anything
it?
to say. But of course, Crist looked cool, calm, and collected. Because
And
as you said,
tan with a man and a plan.
As you said, he knew he always used a fan.
Yeah.
Other reporters who've been covering Crist know that he
He's
uses
got a sweat
fan.
problem,
so
obviously.
he's standing there thinking, I can't believe this.
Yes.
I came here to debate this guy. He won't come out because of this
Give me some
fan.
psychobabble. Why did Scott make an issue of this?
I haven't a clue.
Anybody got a theory?
Well, you know what? I think he was thinking about the ads that he could use. I mean, one of his lines, I
What did
think,
he gotta use as a fan?
during the debate was he's
So
sweating. He's sweating because of the 800 and XYZ
It's
thousand
Florida.
I know.
Wait, but you know,
no one has focused on that. That's the key thing.
Florida.
Anybody watching at home says, I like my fan. There's
but
nothing
you know
wrong with
what?
fans. In fact, a little AC would be nice too.
You know what I was
so,
thinking,
I mean,
though? Did you see, gentlemen, did you see the cover of Time magazine about the male menopause? And that's what I thought about when I saw the fan. I thought, Mr.
Hot
Crist
flashes.
is having a hot flash.
But really,
all he needs.
but you didn't show the clip when Scott finally comes out after 7 minutes,
so bad.
and he then insists that he didn't come out because Crist wasn't there.
But he
and people
was.
said, but he was here.
Wasn't.
He's been standing here for 7 minutes. And Scott became real goofy and odd.
did.
And it was, I mean, that was, I think, the worst part of the night.
Remember Groucho Marx?
He had no joke
Remember
to tell.
Groucho Marx?
I remember Groucho Marx.
You're going to believe me or your lying eyes. I mean, we all saw this thing. I think it helps Crist, but we'll see. At 44-44,
And
something's going to happen. Anyway, the roundtable's sticking with us for more. And when we come back, Here's something you don't see every day. A celebrity cuts an attack ad, and this is West Wing's Martin Sheen going after the other guy. This is rare. They're usually nice to their guy, but they don't dump on the other guy. He does. This is Hardball, the place for politics.